Hello, welcome back to the Heroes for Hire Comic Club YouTube channel. Read the little GI Combat. This cool out on the back for the old Corgi diecast tanks. I have a few of those at myself. I collected when I was a kid. Well, it's going to be a special one. This is my comic series recommendations series. So before we start, like and subscribe if you like what I do. Hit the notification bell. Today we're talking about the Energon Universe. Yes, tell you right now, if you don't know about the Energon Universe, you're missing out. The Energon Universe consists of Void Rivals, written by Robert Kirkman, Lorenzo De Felici, Matthias Lopes are on the art. Also includes the wonderful, can't say enough things about Transformers all from Image Skybound, Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer. And so what the thing is about this is, and they have the GI Joe stuff they're doing now with Cobra Commander, which was great. But we'll get into all that with the GI Joe stuff and everything. But what I want to get down to is this. It comes down to this. I'm going to explain it all to you as best I can. So in this world, Transformers and GI Joe universe is connected, and this Void Rivals ties into the Transformers because they're from a far off planet and they live like on this ring-like planet, and they have to fight these two races have to fight for resources. Come to find out, you find out later that they have a relationship. They know the Transformers and they make cameos in this series. I'm going to show you some of the covers. There's issue 2. I mean, I just love the sci-fi. They have this thing in their hand like called a handroid, and they talk in it. It's really great. It gets into the backstory of what's been going on Cybertron, and it's really interesting. I just want to share a few of them. This guy, I mean, they're just great. I just like it's kind of like a dark, it kind of reminds me almost of Blade Runner in a way. And so, yeah, these two people are enemies, and it kind of reminds you of like there was a movie I saw once with Lee Marvin. I can't remember the name of it, but he was in World War II, and he got stuck on this island with a Japanese soldier. And even though the war was over, they still were enemies for a lot of the movie until they finally decided if they were going to survive being on this desert island, they had to team up. So it's kind of got that kind of vibe to it, and some great covers. And here's another one, Transformers. So it's got that. So they have to, in order, they're like on this, they're fighting each other, like having a dog fight in space or whatever with their spaceship, right? They both hit this like deserted planet, and there's trapped there. And he notices she's there too, but they end up having to join forces to get off this place. And so Transformers make a appearance every now and then, and they get back home and they explain, well, they realize when they take their mask off, because they're told they all look different, that they look the same. They're the same species and race. But they have been told that each other civilization is the bad guy, right? But they find out later that there's been a deal made with the people that control both planets, that we have to keep everybody at each other's throats. Kind of reminds you a lot of what goes on in politics these days. And then also, the when that came out, then this came out, Transformers. Just amazing art and writing by Daniel Warren Johnson. If you don't know who Daniel Warren Johnson is, and you've been living in a cave for the last 2 years, he's one of the best artists going around. He did that thing called Murder Falcon and Do a Power Bomb. He's got a new series coming out called The Moon is Following Us. So here's issue 2. I just want to show you some of this tremendous cover art. Transformers. There's Transformers 3, 4. I get this every month. It's one of the few ones that I actually collect every month now of modern comics. This issue 5. Got Megatron's gun there or something. Here's number 6 to the cover. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a tremendous glare from this overhead light. I need to get one of those ring lights so I can be a legitimate YouTuber, huh? I don't know. Maybe I should. Probably invest a couple of dollars in this channel. We got Transformers number 7. Starscream just messing some stuff up. Number 8 is kind of cool. It kind of tells them. So what happens in this series? Now this one's a really good cover. It's one of my favorites. What's happening in the series is, they come to Earth, like in the cartoon, in the original synopsis of the or telling of the story. So Optimus and all the Autobots come to realize how fragile the human beings and the wildlife, everything is on this planet. And he swears he's going to defend the Earth, you know, from these Decepticons who are trying to drain all the energon they can out of and all the resources off of Earth to send back to Cybertron. So they get in a fight. It's got Spock in it and his dad and this girl named Carly, and it's really, I mean, I can't say enough glowing things about this comic book. This is probably one of the best things I've ever read in the last 2 years. It's probably the best thing besides maybe Ghost Machine and Ultimate Spider-Man is pretty dope. So we got all that, but then when it comes to the GI Joes get involved with this right here comes out. I can't say enough things about this miniseries. This was a 5-issue miniseries. They're all connected. It's Cobra Commander. This tells you the origin of where Cobra Commander comes from, and he's from Cobra Law. So they made that Cobra Law lore canon in this, and he's supposed to be working to help them get this. They live underground, and they have this crazy technology, and they haven't made themselves known to the rest of the world yet. But they're afraid they don't trust the outsiders. They're all together, and they're wanting to take over the world basically. And he's got this invention. He's not really. He's being very secretive about this issue too, about where he's getting all this stuff to get all this unlimited energy they can get. And what you find out is he found the Decepticons crashed ship, and they'd been out of energy, so they shut down. They didn't have any energy on, and he was like thrown out of the ship or something, and he was mangled. He found all his pieces, and he's been siphoning off the technology off of Megatron. So, and we got here's issue 5. I'm kind of going back in back order here, but you see all these wonderful covers. This was written by the great Joshua Williamson, who wrote for Superman a lot here lately. Andrea Milana and Annalisa Leone are the artists and inker or colorist. So you got all these. This is just, and then so it's like he runs into the dreadnoughts in it, and like he strikes a deal with them. It's got Nemesis and Force that are in it. If you remember the old GI Joe cartoon, then they came out with Duke, and you get a little allusion to Duke in Transformers because Duke is in a plane with his uh, one of his fellow soldiers or whatever, and he's his friend. And Starscream, like basically, they have to eject because he's fighting them. They see this jet, they realize it's not just a jet; it turns into a big giant robot, right? So he destroys their jet. They eject. Well, Duke gets away, but his friend is caught in midair by Starscream. He squishes him to death. It's crazy. So Duke is like pushed into trying to find out who killed his friend and what is this thing and why is the government trying to hide it. And they tell him he's crazy. Kind of like these guys in the military now when they used to say when they see a UFO, it's gotten a little better now, but they would call, oh, you're just crazy. Or they section, they'd give them a what do they call it, section. They kick him out for being crazy, dishonorable discharge or something. So he gets arrested by his own people. He busts out of jail with the help of all people, Baroness, and he's trying to get to the truth. And it's got a little appearance by Destro in it. You see at the end, he's fighting one of the bats. The last issue, it's a 5-issue miniseries. And so after that was complete, we're into. There's 2 more out now. I haven't read them all yet. Still waiting on issue 4 and 5 to get here. I pre-ordered, and it's Scarlet. So they did a whole Scarlet series, and she's trying to go after Jinx, who's infiltrated this secret group that's employs people like Storm Shadow. And but she's deep undercover. They haven't heard from her, so she goes. There's Jinx with her. She infiltrates the group to go find her friend and make sure she's all right and get her out. So that one's still ongoing right now. And then they got a GI Joe series, straight GI Joe. They have a GI Joe series right now written by Larry Hama, a lot of cover art by Andy Kubert. But that's I think it's coming to. I don't know if that's coming to an end, but they're going to do one that's related to Skybound. But here's the Destro series. So as you know, Destro's an arms dealer. Well, Cobra Commander makes a deal with him because he can manufacture that Energon now. He's figured out he found a good source for it on Earth. Now he knows how to use it because he experimented on Megatron. Megatron broke out of his bondage, so he's returning. He's probably going to go gunning for Starscream and I think Soundwave because they kind of usurped his power. They took over. They're running things because they thought he was dead. And you know how the Decepticons are; they like to stab each other in the back. So, and then they had this one. It was like a Energon Universe. It just explains what's going on for the upcoming year. Now, Daniel Warren Johnson has said that after issue 24, he's dropping out. And I'm very saddened by that, but I'm still looking forward to the next year. We still have a year or two of a year left of him writing this book, hopefully. And hopefully the next guy that comes along will be good. But it's all in the Image Skybound. Uh, it's an Image, but it's the Skybound imprint label ran by Tyler Kirkham. And you may know him from books like Saga, The Walking Dead, and Invincible. And so basically everything he does now, everything he touches turns to gold. And I respect that because he's a Kentucky boy like me. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, I don't know if I did a good job explaining it. I didn't want to blow the whole thing, and spoil it for anybody. But I just wanted to get on here, and I haven't done a video in a couple of days. And I figured like I didn't have anything new issues to review. I didn't have any mail to open today, so I figured let's just talk about something I think the community needs to read if they're not aware of it. Of course, I don't know that anybody's not aware of this, but I do have some friends in the YouTube community, in the YouTube comic book community that haven't read it yet. And I'm telling you, you guys need to read it. Definitely need to read it. And I want to give a shout out to Rob's Fat Stacks and the Comic Veteran, Comic Vet. Go to their YouTube channel, so subscribe and like. And please, if you can, donate something or buy something from their comics curing cancer auction, which comes up. I think it's the first week of October. I will drop a link if I can. I'm still not very technically efficient on the YouTube yet, but I'm trying. But they're easy to find. They're also Rob's Fat Stacks is on Instagram. So find out how you can get involved and win some great stuff. They have, I'm telling you guys, they have some great stuff coming up for auction, and it all goes to comics curing cancer. It's a great cause. Check that out. And it's a cause that's near and dear to my heart because I lost my stepfather to cancer a few years ago. So please check that out if you can. And if you can, please bid on something and try to contribute to this great charity and this great cause. I donate some comics, so maybe you can bid on the one I donated. And also, I want to give a shout out to my friends, Cheap Comic Collector and Psychotronic Squirt Gun. You guys are awesome. Piggy Pop Comics, again, Swag Duh. All these guys, please like and subscribe to their videos, and you won't be disappointed. They're some good guys, and I do a stream with them every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern called the Chaotic Comic Cover Displays. So check that out, and also check me out on Instagram at Ghost of Tom Joad 76. You can also follow me on Whatnot at Ghost of Tom Joad 76. I do Whatnot sales every week, usually Sunday at noon Eastern, and I sprinkle some pop ups in there during the week when I can. I may not be there as much the next couple of weeks because I'm trying to save up money, so I can't really go out and buy as many new comics as I've been wanting that I used to do because I'm going to the Cincinnati Comic Expo the 18th, 19th, and 20th in Cincinnati, Ohio. So I guess that's about it for this video. But until next time, true believers, Excelsior.